Mary Jane Veloso is a Filipino woman who went to Indonesia back in 2010 looking for work. She was supposed to be a maid in Malaysia, but that job wasn't real, and instead, she ended up in Indonesia. There, she got arrested at the airport in Yogyakarta for carrying 2.6 kilos of heroin in her luggage, which she said she knew nothing about. She was arrested on April 25, 2010, and pretty quickly, in October of that year, she was sentenced to death for drug trafficking, right? The whole trial was kind of a mess. She had this state-appointed lawyer who wasn't experienced with death penalty cases, and she also had a court interpreter who was just a student without a license, translating from Indonesian to English, but her English was very limited. So this led to all sorts of communication problems. Like there was this moment when the judge asked if she regretted bringing heroin into Indonesia, but she said no because she didn't understand the question, causing a big misunderstanding. Because of this language and representation issues, Mary Jane didn't really get what was going on during her trial, which is key for having a fair one, right? Her situation was complicated by the fact that she was just a victim of human trafficking, but that wasn't really taken into account in Indonesia's legal system, which can be pretty harsh without fully considering these nuances. Her execution was put on hold in 2015 after her recruiter surrendered, sparking international efforts, particularly from the Philippine government, to get her clemency. Despite all this, her trial was still seen as not giving her a fair shot at defense. Years later, she got the chance to testify against her recruiters in the Philippines, but only after a long fight. This just highlighted how unfair her trial was in Indonesia. After a lot of back and forth, there was finally some good news. On November 20, 2024, an agreement was reached to transfer her back to the Philippines. She was moved to Jakarta on December 15 and made it back home on December 17, 2024 after 14 years in prison. Even though she's banned from entering Indonesia for life, she's finally back home where she belongs after many struggles and the help of several high-profile figures.